Hi, welcome to your digital library. This tutorial focuses on how to write thesis statements and forecast statements for an essay. Your teacher librarians are here to help. You can find all the resources at yourdigitallibrary.org, and don't forget to follow the library on Instagram at your_digital library. The essential questions for this tutorial are: what is a thesis statement and forecast, and how do they help a writer structure an essay? The skills that you will learn in this tutorial meet multiple standards across the curriculum. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to define thesis statement and forecast, identify a thesis statement and forecast in an introductory paragraph, and understand how the thesis statement and forecast organize your essay. Thesis statements. A thesis statement is your one-sentence answer to the prompt. When you are conducting research, it's your one-sentence answer to your research question or the assigned prompt. Sometimes we might create our own research question, and other times a teacher might assign it. However the question is set up, the thesis statement is always your one-sentence answer to the question. Here's an example. The prompt. Some people argue about the state of the American dream. Is it alive or dead? From what you gather, what do you believe is the state of the American dream? So this is an assigned prompt, and then a thesis statement, a one-sentence answer is given. In the midst of a pandemic and with 12 million Americans unemployed, the American dream is on life support. So in this particular statement, it's not stating directly if it's alive or dead. It is saying that yes, it's alive, but near dead. It is on life support. If this were an essay, it would continue on to explain how the American dream is on life support. So what is a forecast? Just like the weather, when we look at the weather forecast, we are anticipating what to expect in the upcoming days so that we can dress accordingly. Maybe it's going to be cold, so I need to make sure I have a jacket. Maybe it's going to rain, and I need to have an umbrella. Maybe it will be hot, so I know that I will be wearing shorts. So again, forecast equals what is expected to happen. The same thing is for an essay. A forecast in an essay tells the reader what to expect. In an essay, a forecast lets the reader know what topics you'll discuss in your body paragraphs. The forecast lists the topics you will analyze and explain. It's important to always give your reader an understanding of what to expect, hence why we introduce our argument, the thesis statement, and the topics we will discuss, which will be our forecast. So using the same prompt as before, here is again the thesis statement. You'll notice it in green. In the midst of a pandemic and with 12 million Americans unemployed, the American dream is on life support. Americans used to be able to work one job and support a family, but today, the American dream is being suffocated by a shrinking job market, the disappearing middle class, and gender and race discrimination. On this slide, you'll notice how shrinking job market, disappearing middle class, gender and race discrimination are highlighted. That is the forecast. So what will happen in this essay? Shrinking job market will be the topic for body paragraph 1. Disappearing middle class will be the topic for body paragraph 2. And gender and race discrimination will be the topic for body paragraph 3. In total, just looking at this very, very short introduction, this will be a 5-paragraph essay with 1 intro, 3 body paragraphs addressing shrinking job market, disappearing middle class, and gender and race discrimination, and 1 conclusion. Here's another example. The prompt here is identify a leader that has been or is a catalyst for change. How do others evaluate the leader's goals, actions, and or contributions? The thesis statement reads, as an artist, Bowie proved himself to be a thoughtful social commentator while pushing the boundaries of music, both in its sound and delivery. Some gravitated to Bowie's artistic approach, while others found him too enigmatic. So the leader identified is David Bowie as a musical catalyst for change. And the goals, actions, and our contributions in this one is him being a thoughtful social commentator and also pushing the boundaries of music in sound and delivery. Notice how all of it is in green, because even though there are two separate ideas here, the semicolon connects the whole entire sentence. But within this one thesis, the forecast still exists. In body paragraph 1 of this essay, it will be written about how people gravitated to Bowie's artistic approach, going to how he was a social commentator and the sound of in delivery, while others found him too enigmatic. Some didn't get him, again, because he pushed the boundaries of music in its sound and delivery. In this particular essay, if it were to be written, there would be 4 paragraphs, 1 intro, 2 body paragraphs, one about Bowie's artistic approach and the other about him being too enigmatic, and then a conclusion. So why does this all matter? Well, part of the hardest part of writing is organizing our ideas, and it's important to create a pre-write. In a pre-write, we are going to create boxes that represent the different paragraphs. So at the top, the green box is our introduction, the yellow boxes are our body paragraphs, and the pink box at the bottom is the conclusion. At the very top in our intro, you'll notice thesis statement and forecast. So again, we'll have our 1-sentence answer to the prompt, and we would list those topics that will be addressed in the body. Once I know that, I can plug in the topics for each body paragraph. From there, I will then make sure I create a topic sentence, provide proof and an explanation, and a concluding sentence for each body paragraph. Notice how the arrows are pointing to the various boxes, indicating that the information needs to go from one space to the next. And be sure to not add in new information. For example, from the Bowie example, if I want to talk about how he pushed boundaries with music, I don't want to add in a random topic about his relationships with his lovers in another paragraph, because that doesn't have anything to do with the prompt, and it is also new information, which then gets me off topic. Down at the bottom for the conclusion, I will then summarize my paper in 1 to 2 sentences. Maybe this is simply restating the thesis statement. And then I want to leave a little bit of insight, a sentence that lets the reader know why they should care about the claim. Why should people care about David Bowie as a catalyst for change? Needs to be addressed in the conclusion. So as you see here, the thesis statement is listed in the introduction box, and my forecast is listed next to it. And if you see in body paragraph 1 here, I'm going to talk about the positive elements of David Bowie's artistic approach. And in body paragraph 2, I will talk about the negative elements, which make it too enigmatic or hard to understand, where people just didn't get it. Since this is only a 4-paragraph essay, I don't need that extra paragraph, and that's why there is an X there to demonstrate that it's not needed. Now it's your turn to try. Here is on the left, you'll see the image of the pre-write, but in real time, it's not going to look that pretty. So you'll see my version of it, just a quick one, in my notes. So when you get a prompt, whether it's timed or whether it's not, it's really important to create this pre-write structure so you have a sense of, one, where you want to put your information, and two, as a way to make sure that all of it is connected. So you're always going back to that main thesis statement and making sure that everything is being answered and supported. Thank you, Savvy Scholars. Please reach out to your teacher librarians if you need more help. Again, you can find your resources at yourdigitallibrary.org, and you can follow the library on Instagram at your_digital_library. For further questions, feel free to contact your teacher librarians.